Hey guys, Jonal here, and today we will talk a little bit about why you probably feel, or at least might have felt, that you placed wrong now in Season 4. Now how Blizzard is doing this, that every time a new season rounds up, they take your ending scores of what you ended at, not your season high, but what you ended at in that season, and then they take your placement games into evaluation and what's called your MMR, so what skills they believe that you are in. And then approximately they put you in a little bit lower a lot of times, and there you go. That's what you will place in. There's rarely that you place above your season high, or not your season high, what you ended at. It happens sometimes, but a lot of times they place you a little bit under, with maybe 100, 200 points underneath, maybe even more if they don't feel that you deserve that rank that you did. Now, you might actually deserve it, but the problem is a lot of time they calculate it from what is called your MMR, and the hidden MMR in Overwatch is something that we don't know anything about, therefore it's hidden. We don't know what happens, and MMR means essentially what skill they think you are, how good you are in the game, and we can speculate that it's something like your accuracy and how many kills you get per death, depending on your role, how much healing you do, how much damage you block, but we don't know anything really else. Does objective time on a Reinhardt give more MMR increase than on a Genji? If the soldier kills players around his team, does that give him a higher MMR boost than if the soldier kills players flanking, or is it the same? We don't know. So we don't know a lot of what this MMR is. But in general, it does come into consideration how well you do in quick play, how well you do in arcade mode. It does, in a way, be taken into consideration in your competitive placement and what rank you are. Now, but you should not despair. If you place wrong, if let's say that you were a diamond player and you placed in platinum, or God forbid you placed in gold, right? So you should easily be able to climb, even though if your teammate is absolutely shit. And I absolutely understand this problem. I feel that it's much easier for me to play with players on my skill level on my main account, unlike when I'm in like high masters and play with the high masters and grandmasters, than it is for me to play with diamonds. However, it's much easier also for me to carry when I play with the diamond players, because they don't really do that much resistance compared to something what a grandmaster would do. So you should be able to somehow carry. You will lose your games, even the top 500 players, when they go on Smurf accounts and they are like a master, even they lose games because there's only so much you can do yourself. But you should be able to climb slowly but steadily, and a lot of time you will see that Blizzard will reward you more SR for a win than what you do for a lose. I do that on my Smurf account. I do that on my main account. I get about 60 points for a win, and then I got like 20 points for a lose. Not anymore, of course, but that was like the general description of how I got. So I was always gaining SR. Even if I lost and then won one, I was always gaining a lot of SR. So you shouldn't worry. You will probably climb. Maybe you have to reevaluate what you pick of your classes. Some heroes are harder to play with. If you're a Burst main, it is in a way harder to carry than if you are a Soldier main. So you might want to look about that. But what you shouldn't do is you shouldn't blame your team. A lot of people say that, okay, I was platinum or I was diamond and now I'm stuck in gold, and it's because I have a shit team. And that might be totally true. Your team might be shit and they might be really, really bad. However, what you have to take into consideration is that it doesn't help you complaining at all. If you blame your team, well, if you blame them in voice chat like mid-match, it's only gonna help the enemy team. It's only gonna make them more irritated at you and ruin teamwork. Maybe make them play more aggressively, not think about stuff. And in general, therefore you shouldn't really be salty. You might want to talk a little bit to them in a nice way, but put it in a good way, not being like, you suck man, can you swap, because that's not gonna help you. That's gonna help the enemy team. You shouldn't fight inside of your team, you should fight the enemy team instead, and focus all your energy on that. The second of all is that you don't improve if you just blame your team. I see a lot of this. A lot of players just blame that, oh, I died because I didn't get healing, or I died because Reinhardt was bad, or something like that. I died because we didn't use ults. And blaming your team doesn't help you improve at all. So that never helps you improve your skill or climb. And therefore you should always look at yourself. And even though, okay, that guy died, maybe I should have fallen out, maybe I should have done this, maybe I should have ulted earlier. You should always try to look a little bit about what you might have been able to do to better that situation, and always just note that, right? So that you always try to improve yourself. I will be posting a video really fast now, very soon after this, talking a little bit about the heroes I feel is best for Season 4 to climb with, and how you should play them. So look out for that, guys. Besides that, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then like. If you dislike it, dislike, drop your thoughts down in the comment, drop what you placed in, and drop what you ended at. And in general, I hope you guys have a lovely gaming experience. I'm Jonal, and as always, guys, keep the enemy in your crosshair.